Hi YouTube, how are you doing today? My day is okay. Um, I'm kind of, it's a sort of a continuation from my video yesterday without the rant, hopefully. But when it's concerning sexual abuse and people, I have a really big issue. Like I said, I've held old people that have been injured by this in their lives, young people, men, women, children, whoever, crying about the things that had happened to them in their lives. And my issue today is with, although there are some excellent counselors out there for sexual or narcissism abuse, they do not tie the narcissist abuse in with the sexual abuse and for what it really is, Satan's biggest tool. And so that really is my main focus of what this video is about today. I am trying to reach out to the counselors, therapists, of every walk of life, whether it be a minister or a psychiatrist, psychologist, life coach, whoever you are, um, a person just with God in their heart that loves to help people, whoever you are, getting down to the root problem and and sex, misplaced sexuality being the root of many of those problems, if not, yeah. Well, I can't say that's the issue with everybody that has troubles in their lives in this area, but I can say from personal experience, going to talk to a psychiatrist myself just because I needed somebody to talk to, and the woman started crying. I think a lot of therapists, because of their own shame or guilt, or maybe even the continuation of misplaced sexuality in their own lives, they are afraid or ashamed or unwilling to confront the base problem of a lot of people's issues. And if we don't start from the very beginning, where children are being hurt, more children in this world are going to be hurt. And it's our responsibility to do something about this in this world, to organize together as people in the world for the youngsters of this world and the older people. I mean, if you saw like an 80, 90-year-old person crying, wouldn't you want to wonder why? You know, um, this it is such a big deal in this world. And to me, it's like the whole world now, it's like a mass orgy. It's like, well, here I go. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. It's like dudes in skinny jeans. Like, do you need to show your bulge to the whole world? Does some little baby in a stroller need to see your ass walk by looking crude like that? Women, do babies need to see your tits hanging out? Isn't that kind of like between them and their mommies? Or isn't this something that we keep in our bedrooms for ourselves, for our spouses? Like I say, the world's like one big orgy, everybody screwing everybody else without a care or a thought in the world of what it's doing to the next generation. Yeah, modesty is a big damn thing in this world. You better believe it is. It always has been to me. You might have heard this story, but when I was like 12 years old, a big thing was going braless and wearing halter tops. And my adoptive mother had a hell of a time getting me to wear things like she wanted me to wear. because it just was not my style. Now, this, I'll tell it again like it is. I got an excellent body. If I'm going to wear a bikini, I'll do it at the beach or at a swimming pool. I'll be getting a suntan, and I'm not there to impress anybody but myself, because I worked hard on myself all my life. And I've had my issues when I've gotten sick, and I've bounced back. A lot of people hate me for that too. You know, it's like, damn, we thought we almost killed that bitch. And here she is, looking almost better than ever. I mean, sure, I'm getting older, so flipping what? I'm really amazed at the strength God keeps giving me on a daily basis when they think they got me under their thumb, you know. But I really hope you agree that we have to address the health of the sexuality of the people on this planet and what they're trying to do to our children. The number one issue of how they're getting to the kids. It's not just fluoride or drugs or food, or, I mean, it's everything. And it is a spiritual war. But if you have your own parents cracking nasty jokes in front of their kids, watching porn with their kids, or R-rated, it might as well be porn. If it's insinuating to the point where it's going to get a little kid um not thinking like a little kid, then the world's got a problem. Yeah, we understand this, but how are we going to cure this? What are we going to do as ministers or counselors or just loving parents or people in the world? What could you personally do to help somebody in that area? Well, I'm trying to help people in that area. I'm trying to say that it doesn't get passed on to the next generation. We don't ignore this. Hey, I have whole families hate me, my adopted family and my birth family. I don't know that they actually hate me. If I wanted to go back into their lives and say, hey, I do love you, and I do love them, but I am going to just sit by while you crack a joke, like, say, a 70-year-old telling an utterly nasty joke in front of a 12-year-old great grandchild or something like that. I cannot sit by and say, oh, like everybody else, like, oh, wasn't that funny? Isn't grandma and great grandma and my mother a funny flippin' thing? Because she's still crude at going on 80 years old now. No, I can't laugh about that shit. Or another one that would rather love a pedophile, my adopted brother, than a daughter that is respectful and honorable. But yet, this thing puts me down because I chose to divorce what was a dirty human being, and they got along with him, you know? So I've lost a lot in my life because I refuse to bow to the Satanistic ways. It's a lonely life. Yes, it is. There's a few people out there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Probably worse than anybody besides me wants to know. You know. Because when I know something, I can help with your heart. You know. And I'm sure there's, like, ladies or gentlemen out there, you may have a spouse that was abused in ways that they're not even talking about. You know, they might get angry instead of shedding the tears. They might take it out on you like you were the perpetrator because they have no other place to go with it. And then if drugs and alcohol are involved, I'm talking like hard drugs or heavy drinking, not your socialization of having a drink or a couple hits with a friend or by yourself or whatever you do. I'm talking inebriated where you can't even think straight. A lot of people go that direction too. Now I have a dilemma and I'm not quite sure. I had a friend had a friend. I have a friend on Facebook that's feeling suicidal, probably more than one. But excuse me a moment. See, my hand hurts when I hold it like that, so it looks weird when I hold it like this. But okay, so my friend feeling suicidal and has lost their family, and but then I personally don't know them. And even when I stated about what was going on or what had happened in my life as far as not seeking revenge against the people that even hurt my children when they were babies, um, and totally messing up their lives in many different areas. I explained a little bit of that. And yeah, when people strike out against a good person or even want other people to take their lives, that is retarded. I just hope that I wasn't sticking up for the wrong person. You know, that's all I can ever hope. When I say something, um, and if it's out of line, you know, if the other person involved says something to me, I'll readily correct it. If the person that's feeling suicidal maybe should be feeling suicidal, I mean, not that I want somebody to kill themselves, but if they're the perpetrator, if they were the ones that actually hurt somebody in their lives and I'm standing up for them and I said, I love you and you're my friend, um, if if that friendship was not honored by the truth, then everything that I said was based on a lie and it's null and void. So, um, but if it's the absolute truth, I'll stand beside somebody 100%. You know, I decided to come out in the living room today because I'm doing dishes and laundry and it's really noisy. So, um, I can't stress enough. I'm going to address this to the counselors on YouTube and Facebook, life coaches, all you ministers. Um, yeah, it's important that we tell people to repent, but they're supposed to have that in their heart. God is talking in their heart. We don't have to wake anybody up. We that yes, it's our job to find the lost sheep. Those are the sheep, not the wolves pretending to be sheep. You know. Um, then we talk to each other like that, and we help each other get through those times. Um, Grown ass adults don't make the mistakes that children make. And what's going on in this world right now, people have picked a side whether they know it or not. And the children do not have a chance unless we guard the most sacred thing that God gave us. And that's the union between a man and a woman, the marriage between those to procreate for him. If we don't protect that, then making love with a husband and a wife means absolutely nothing. Your family means absolutely nothing. You being made means nothing if you don't care about what's going on for the next generation enough to guard how you dress, guard how you look at another human being, guard your words, guard it, guard your integrity, and guard everybody else's. Give them the chance to see who you are, standing up for God. And if they don't like you, they're not a part of what is. Believe what you want. This is not the coming together. This is not. That kind of, I'll touch on a little something else. If you're talking to the universe, keep flapping your gums because you aren't being heard. If you can't talk to God and know that God made you and talks to you in your heart and your soul, in your blood, you are not only led astray, you could perhaps be leading other people astray also. So I sat on a channel for narcissist abuse and listened to a self-proclaimed narcissist try to turn the counselor against God in marriage. And I'm like, well, hey, take it from somebody that, yeah, even though I'm still with somebody, I am not shy about saying, can't touch this. Yeah, my expectations are that high. But just because somebody's had issues in their lives with their spouses, don't buy into this narcissistic attitude that a true loving marriage isn't possible on this planet. That's exactly the seed that Satan wants planted in your head. Well, and that anything goes. Anything doesn't go. This is God's planet. There's a time when he says all flesh will be destroyed. That means the end of your life. Now you have a decision to make right here and now if you want an eternal glorified body. That is promised you. If you truly love yourself enough that you want to exist, this is the time to say so. If you don't, hey, just keep sitting back, being quiet. That'd be my advice. If you can look at a little baby and see some freak show walk by it and you're okay with that, just stay there silent. Don't say anything for that baby. So, these are decisions to make right now. The world's a flippin' mess, and we need to either help clean it up or watch it perish. It's showtime. It's go time. It's decision time. It's not time to sit there and be silent towards anybody in your life or for anybody in your life or even people that you don't know. So, right this minute, some old man's being sexually abused. Some little baby has their mother cracking nasty jokes in front of it. Wow, that's sweet. Or a father is inappropriate around his daughter or sons. Yeah, it's a sick world. And it's a lot sicker than people realize. If you got one sick person in your family, think of the ones that aren't saying anything, what they've done, or what you or I might have done personally. Like me with my mouth. Probably didn't do my kids a lot of good sometimes, and that is why I went to seek counseling, because of my anger towards my sons. It wasn't, oh yeah, that's something they did. They would not stop arguing and fighting, and I couldn't rip them apart. So there'd be days like, I'm like, shut the fuck up, and that's not cool. When I did that, it's time to go talk to somebody, So I did. That's why I'm here, because I don't want anybody else getting to that level of despair and loneliness of having nobody to talk to. Because I do know that there's a lot of, especially men, women might talk, or you might even hint of things that's happened to you, and I can sense that. But your husband's more prone to go out and get drunk or come home drunk and abusive because of that sadness that he's not speaking about the inappropriate things that were happened to him as a child. Really, more often than not, you know. So people will brush it off. We'll put makeup on and we'll dress up and feel beautiful. But deep down inside, you're freaking hurting. And it makes you feel ugly right from the start. When that decision, even if it's verbal, is taken away from you, that's something you can't recover. And that's a crime. That's a crime against a child. It may seem slight or little, but it is a big deal. It's nothing to overlook. We can't. It doesn't seem like a big deal to the world. Just the whole world with their misplaced sexuality. It's not just the TV. It's been going on for forever. And the more, it's just like, okay, the more a dude practices wearing high heels, the better he gets, right? Isn't that the same with any woman? Well, the more feminine you feel, the more feminine you feel. It is who you feed inside. No, women are women and men are men. Um, but you can nurture thoughts that really do not come from God, no matter how you want to paint it. Hey, I'd rather strap on pearls than a tool belt, but I had to strap on the tool belt, and that's why I can readily beat some dude's ass, because I was forced to work like one when men failed me. You know, there's all kinds of sob stories out in this world, and all kinds of people that have been hurt. There's men that had to do what would maybe typically be more like the feminine role of nurturing their child or whatever. And I'm not really saying anything in that respect, because perhaps like the mother was sick or whatever. I've seen that. And then the guy ended up adapting a little softer nature than what he ever, and even fathers with little girls, you know what I'm talking about. Just with your little girl like that, if she's so blessed to have that tenderness from a father. So, excuse me. Well, just a minute. How are we going to do this? How are we going to get the message out to the world that sex is really bringing our society down as a whole? You look dirty. Do you feel dirty? You know, that type of thing. Just asking, you know. If you're dressing to get boffed in life instead of just dressing to be cute for the whole world, there's really something wrong upstairs, and God is not sitting in that temple. It could be vacant. That's the ones I call riding the fence. Like you don't know if you're talking to the universe or God or who or what or an angel or you don't, you're lost. That's the lost. It's not the ones that are directly evil out there intentionally doing harm to other human beings. You could be kind of really unaware of it. Wow, I hope that wasn't one of our vehicles. Didn't sound too good, whatever it was. Mm, I think it was. Might have been, maybe Doug forgot something. If it was, I'll make a part two, but I'll just sit here and think what was on my mind here for a second. Still more of the same, I'm sure. you know, what steps are we going to take to implement this in the world? This is one of the steps I'm taking. I'm trying to reach the other counselors and therapists out here um, to talk to the whole world and make them aware of the dangers that I'm speaking about from birth on up, even pre-birth. You know, look into shared DNA. Any partner you've ever slept with, leaving that part of their DNA in you and a memory card of thoughts that may not actually be your own. Some of them you might like, some of them you might not. But it is a big deal and it is real. I was going to pull up a medical journal article for you, but I thought, well, you really could do that on your own if you don't believe what I'm saying is true. And I've talked about it before, but it is absolutely a fact. So, kind of a creepy fact, especially for those of us that have been abused, carrying a piece of your perpetrator with you for the rest of your life. And yeah, that is where I was really going with that, is where all decisions of what God meant to be sexuality for his human beings are being taken away from everything that them babies see on a daily basis. From the second they open their eyes, and the words that they hear, and the encouragement in either direction that they get, and who's actually going to stand up for the ones that don't want to live around that. It's important, isn't it? Please help me spread the word. I mean, I don't know if you've ever shared any of my videos or if it occurs to you that things are drastic in this world, or if you even cry for another human being that's been abused in any way. Does that ever cross your mind? And yet, people say we're connected. How connected are you? Satan's surely connected with all of his. They got one hell of a system going. They have such a system going, they can use the innocent ones to destroy the other innocent ones by way of ignorance. Give me a thumbs up and a share. And let's get this word out in a big way. I'm pleading for counselors to start speaking the words I'm speaking for your clients. If you really are loving enough to put your shame and guilt aside of your own woes in life and truly care for the others in the world, this is what we need to do. We need to get out here and tell the world, put some clothes on and teach those babies right. or don't even live. What's your reasons? Selfishness? Who cares? You don't belong in society then. That's my opinion. So I might be back, I'm not sure. Um, I got plenty to do, so I'm appealing to all you counselors and lovers in the world, lovers of other people. Let's spread these words. Help me, take my words, use your own. Reach the people you know, speak them the way you know how to say them, and let's teach the world better than what they're doing right now for the next generation, or I'm totally ashamed of you. Just help. Help them. Help me. Help them. Help yourself. Please. Peace, everybody. Have a good day, night or day. God bless it.